we help Amish singles to find godly spouses, create epic marriages through our marriage mastery process, and then develop a legacy that is rooted, founded, and developed through in faith, freedom, and above all, love. Love is the key element for us. To love well is to bless others. And everyone has a different definition, really. I could ask each and every one of you what love is. And I would like to ask that. What is love? What does love look like to you? What does love feel like? How would you define love? This morning, I was, as we were connecting and doing our Epic 30 process, and discussing things and even getting a word from Papa, just powerful to me as I was looking at this word from the Father. There's a lot of crazy things out there that are affecting humanity and affecting men and women both. One of them happens to be the grip and the web of porn, and the challenge that comes with that. And it literally is considered and referred to as fornication. And the root word of that word is porneia, which is, it's interesting that it would be tied to fornication, which I don't know if any of you have really paid attention to what fornication actually is pretty much intimacy, uh, love, not love. I would call it intimacy because I'm going to define love in a second for myself. It would be uh, intercourse, sexual relationship, and intimacy without commitment. That's literally what fornication is. This is my beautiful bride, Miss Chantelle. And Chantel, some of the things we've been talking about is the power of commitment, but also the power of love, and also ways to ask questions. If you're committed to someone, you're willing to get clarity. If you're committed to a relationship and developing that relationship for deeper, more intimate relationship, clarity is key. And you often say in your wisdom of when we're teaching and training, working with our community, and even myself, you've constantly helped me remember how important questions are. That you don't accuse, you don't assume, because as I was talking yesterday in the community Q&A, to our community on school platform, Epic Your Life, I said, spell out assume. How do you spell assume? ASSUME. And that old phrase, an old saying, if you hadn't heard it before, is that assume will make an ass out of me and you. You and me, but really it's because of me that I assume something that it will. So it's not very good to just assume something. It's better to ask questions. So I want to get your feedback on the importance of clarity and communication on how to find love, even just in the very beginning when you're single. How important are questions, and how important is clarity in relationships? So there you go.
Okay, so in regards to relationships, right? The 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 questions are so important because we talk a lot about how we get triggered, and you know we see so much these days. People who are you know addicted to their singlehood.
Yeah, true.
Right? People who are addicted to their singlehood. And why? Because anytime something comes up, they assume or they take their trigger and they automatically call it a red flag. They automatically say, oh, nope, not doing that. Been there, done that, without pursuing understanding, without asking deeper questions, without understanding maybe why somebody has responded a certain way or doesn't respond a certain way. We're really quick, it seems like, to box people in to what we've experienced, right? From through seeing through the lens, hearing through the lens of our filter, our pain, our judgment, if you will, our judgment that really clouds our vision. It really does. And it it is probably the biggest thing that stops us from moving forward in a relationship and or committing in a relationship. I feel like I'm fully cut off. So
Yeah, go for it.
it's really hard to continue in a relationship if we've already, we're just starting to get to know somebody and we're already putting them in a box without the pursuit of understanding, without asking them questions that really give you a fuller picture. We need a fuller picture. And I feel like, the addiction to being single causes people to not do the work of asking those questions.
True.
We get lazy. We just, it's much easier to just cut them off.
Yeah, I agree. And so when you see, so yesterday a question came across in the community about some people we're working with in their relationships and skills. And the question was like, what do you do with if a man says you, I don't know, and she was like, I don't know how I feel about this. And this is where it all ties into questions, right? Is she said, this gentleman I'm speaking with and building relationship connection, right? Several different people in the community of single to married. And she said that this gentleman said, you remind me of my mother. His mother is passed. But she automatically kind of had a red flag. I don't want to be your mother type thing. And didn't ask questions, froze kind of thing. Makes sense. So I wanted, there you go, assumed, yep.
Right.
And so, and part of it is even because we talk about that no woman wants to be a man's mother. Right.
Well,
And don't be a boy. Don't be a little boy.
Yeah. Especially because I've just, harped on the women hardcore about not being a mother.
Yes. So it's fresh. And then all of a sudden
she's faced with that. So it's good because again, pursuing understanding and, in what way? Like asking the question, well, in what way do I remind you of your mother?
Yep.
Is an important question.
It is.
Right? Because that's a clarifying
question. Probably a compliment. Otherwise, I don't think this man would say that.
Well, it depends. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, they're so he could have a poor relationship with his mother and feel like this woman is, overbearing or something like that. And or again, pursuing understanding, it could be, the way that she's nurturing or protective or, you know what I mean? Diligent, a lot of times, a woman who is strong and diligent can resemble especially in the Amish culture, it could resemble an Amish mother.
Right. I had a conversation.
Somebody who has, strong hands and is the works of her hands is good. And you know what I mean? Those kind of things can definitely
I had a conversation with another young man yesterday who really looks up to his mother and saying how she's been the rock in his life and how she was a great example to him and helping him get over even drug addictions and stuff. So his mom was a great thing in his life. So you never know. So again, we assume we know.
I mean, it could be like, for instance, for you, I've heard you refer to people as like, oh, you remind me of my mom, in the way that your mom loves people.
Yes.
Right. And loves to host and invite. There's no stranger. So everybody's invited to the table. I know that you've talked about that and referred people, oh yeah. So, we never know. Again, we're gonna see and hear through our filters. And so are we aware of those filters and are we willing to like see through a clear lens and really pursue the questions that gain the clarity, right?
So good. So true. So getting to know someone, asking questions is a key element. How to find love, where to find love. We've been talking about that. What would be some of your recommendations on where to find love? If there's, this is the men's edition, so I'm primarily talking to the men. But again, I've been challenging the men and even some of our clients. We've been working with you and I with helping the matchmaking process, mentoring them. We tell them, gotta get out there.
Yeah.
How often are you in public? Never. Do you go to church even? No. Do you go to any special groups? But it's cool to see some of our clientele expanding, going to dance lessons and having fun and getting out there. There's singles groups out there. But I just want to get your feedback as a woman. what you recommend, uh, where men and women can go out there that are single and find where to find love.
Any place that is a group, right? There's plenty of group, and it can be, something of your interest.
Yeah.
Right. There's so many different I don't know. I've often said, go to like a group workout.
Yeah.
Group workouts, join a gym that has group, kickboxing or something, or you know what I mean? Something that like if any kind of group, there's hiking groups. If you like to hike, I mean, there's what do they call them?
Meetups.
Yeah, meetup groups.
Social
like, meetup groups are great. Dance classes are great. There's just any place, again, going to church, singles groups.
Well, I think part of it too is like when you have we talk about alignment through mission.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you align up?
Serving,
Yeah,
volunteering,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Those are
true.
those are other ways. I mean, there's so
Because if you're looking for someone that you want to align your missions up with, and this is some of the wisdom advice that we've given for years and seen the results in, and it's actually where our connection came in. Well, on our honeymoon, we went to Belize and served the orphans and helped build an orphanage physically with our hands and took our children with us. And it was a beautiful, beautiful honeymoon to be able to love and serve people. Guess what? That's our common connection too and mission is serving people. So yeah, Chantel's right on. Maybe going to donate time. If you have a heart to give and serve people and bless people, like in some capacity of like even like maybe disaster relief or helping the elderly or working, in a nursing home or something where it's giving to certain people or whatever your heart's mission is, what you want, then if you go donate and volunteer time in those scenarios, in those communities or those group of people, you might find another person that is single.
well, and again, what we teach is really about creating amazing friendships with
Yes.
people who align with you.
Yes.
So
Okay.
you don't have to go into any kind of social environment, atmosphere, or group thing with pressure or fear. Go into it with the courage to know that I'm going to build connections
So good.
that will possibly grow into something more, because I'm surrounding myself with people who have common interests, common
Like-minded.
hearts,
Yep.
you know what I mean, that I'm aligning with, and see what happens. Like, you don't have to go with it like this pressure of like, oh, I'm joining this group because I think I'm gonna meet
True.
my the one. Oh my gosh, the one might be there, and then we get paralyzed. But at the same time, have the courage to go and build friendships with men and women alike. We don't have to create this kind of pressure, but understand that that's where a beautiful relationship can grow from, is to surround yourself with people who you are aligned with, where your hearts do connect on a serving level, on a
Good.
on a mission oriented level. I'm not saying go join missions, but if that's the case, go do it. But it could be so many different things, interests, like I said, hiking,
So true.
art, those kind of
Different
whatever.
exercise events, different
Yeah.
events like Spartan races, right? You could be out there
Absolutely. And
meeting
what is,
people.
what is within your community? What is within your community that you can engage in? You have to have the courage. You have to have the courage to just embrace it. Go join something. And it may not be a fit for you. You could go to somewhere and you'd be like, okay, I don't feel like I fit in. Well, join something else. I mean, just
It's good.
but I would encourage you to utilize your skills, communication skills, ask questions. Again, it goes back to the courage. Have the courage to have a conversation, to ask somebody questions, to get to know them, be genuinely interested, even if you're not attracted to them. Okay.
That's right.
Even if you're not attracted to them, go build a relationship, because guess what? That girl at that group may have a friend that is completely aligned for you, but you won't get to know her because you're not willing to get to know the person who you're not attracted to. Right? We have to be willing to have these conversations, to ask questions.
Yes. So good. Well, thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
Thanks for being a part of this Love Talk with the Amish Matchmakers. We are the Amish Matchmakers. We help singles. Like 80% of them are previously Amish in the sense of they are still Amish in their culture and language, but we help them to find godly spouses and to help them to have epic marriages and create a legacy that is founded in freedom and faith, and more importantly, love. Love is the key.
I have one more thought. Okay. You know, a lot of times we hold ourselves back because we don't have the confidence. Okay? We don't have the confidence, but courage you were born with. So for those of you who are sitting here going, oh, I don't know if I can do that. I'm just afraid. I don't have the confidence. I walk, I feel stuck at my I don't have the words, all of these things. You literally just have to tap into the courage that you were born with, that is in your design. You've got it. We believe in you. So go ahead and do it.
That's right. Get out there. Go meet some new people. Be known and make yourself known through relationships and connections. And we've got tons of information to help you with that, to help you to love yourself, love others well, release, receive, give. It's a process to get in the flow. It's a process to connect and connect well, eye contact, all these great, cool things. So we love you, bless you. Not gonna be able to look at comments right now because we got to get going. But thanks for the comments. Like, subscribe our channel, and when we come on here and create some more content, we'll probably be going live a little bit later today, and definitely tomorrow we'll do some more. But today we're kind of exploring, like I said, at our office. I'd love to show you our office with Nesbitt Repair. Those of you that are following us and hearing our story, we're going to capture our new. My wife here is doing an amazing job leading our crew there in Madison, Georgia. So have a great day.